We are live with the community. This is the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community call covering Copilot, SharePoint, Power Apps, and more. Today is November 6th. We are well on our way into winter and all of the cozy comfort feelings that come with it. We're going to look at it positively, right? Okay, let's see what we got in store for us today. We're going to talk about lots of cool things, latest updates on the community. We'll talk about the Copilot prompt of the week, PNP.NET libraries, PowerShell. Then we'll get into all these cool samples like script samples, Copilot Pro Dev samples, Power Platform samples. We'll get an update on community days. And then we're going to also have a new update that we'll be adding to the agenda here soon, the maturity model for Microsoft 365. So we're excited to start learning about that on this call. And then, of course, everyone's favorite time, picture time with Together Mode. So get those fantastic faces ready. And then the reason we're all here, of course, is our three amazing presenters of the day. Mitanshu is going to kick it off on Unlock the Power of Your Data, Custom Machine Learning with Azure and Power Platform. Sanjiv is going to fill in rapid prototyping with Excel Data Streamer, the Copilot function, and Arduino using Microsoft Excel. And Gautam will finish it up with your AI-powered people finder in Microsoft 365. So lots of agentic and AI information for us to learn about today. But first, let's talk about some amazing resources that are available to each and every one of you. We've got our Microsoft Community Learning videos. This is our YouTube video where YouTube constantly tells us you're all posting a lot. And you know what? If you post less, your metrics will be better. And we say, nope, there's too much amazing content being created by the community that we want to showcase. So we keep sharing because you all keep creating, and that's awesome. So please don't hesitate to go subscribe to that so you can keep up to date with all the amazing latest videos. We also have our LinkedIn group for discussions, all the open source tooling, a lot of those sample galleries, which we'll learn more about today. And of course, our community landing page, which is the only place that you need to remember, community.ms or aka.ms/community/home will give you access to all these amazing goodies. And if you're here, it's hopefully because you like community calls. Well, we've got more. Our weekly Tuesday is the weekly product updates with Microsoft speakers. That means that those program managers and product managers who are responsible for creating all the cool tech that we use and love every single day will be showing up there to share with each of us the information and the latest and greatest. So get that on your calendar. Of course, we've got this weekly call now. You may say, hey, wait, I thought these were bi-weekly calls. Nope, they are weekly. We just used to shift the topics every week, and now we're just kind of making it one call to simplify the message. So you've got a Tuesday call and a Thursday call. And then once a month, you've got the Power Platform monthly call and the Office add-ins. You don't need to remember all these. Again, one simple URL, aka.ms/community/calls will give you access to the invites, which you can also get at community.ms. Get those on your calendar. That way you know you'll always be here at the right time. Coming up on the 11th of November, Steve is going to be unlocking SharePoint embedded integration with Power Platform connectors. And the one and only Paolo Pialorsi will be creating autonomous agents in Copilot Studio. That's coming up next Tuesday on the 11th of November. Now, as you're watching our amazing community presenters today, and you think, hey, I'd like to present, I think I could. Am I allowed to? Yes, in fact, we encourage it. Everyone is welcome to present on these calls. And like I said, we ask you to. So don't hesitate to fill in this form. Let us know by going to ak.ms/community/request/demo. Just simply fill out the form, give us a topic, a little more information. We'll get back to you. We'll get you scheduled. And don't overthink it. Don't think, well, do I really have anything that nobody else has seen? Yes, you do, because there's always new ones in the community, and we all learn at different paces and different times. So if you find value in it, I promise you, others will find value in it. So don't second guess it. If you need a buddy, we got you covered. Just let us know. And as you do start to contribute, you may think, I don't know, there might be some hurdles along the way. I heard that GitHub, that hub of Gits, that GitHub hub's labyrinth of confusion is super confusing. Don't worry. We got you covered there too. Sharing is caring is that live hands-on opportunity to learn how to contribute to the community. So we just had one a couple weeks ago. We're getting another one spun up for November, December. We know there's some downtime. Folks like to use that to learn. So we're going to give you those opportunities. These are live sessions. They are hands-on. They are safe space, which means that we do not record them. So you're free to ask any questions without that fear that we sometimes put on ourselves of it going on record, that we're asking a question and then we second guess it. And we think, does everybody already know this? I shouldn't be asking this question. Don't. We want you to ask every single question you got. So these sessions are a great place to do that. They are free, they are hands-on, and they are live. So keep on the lookout at ak.ms/sharingiscaring, and we'll let you know when it's scheduled as well. Because also, by the way, you get credit for a contribution on these calls. And why is that important? Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because we've got our recognition program. This is our program powered by Credly. These official accredited badges are here to recognize the amazing work that you're doing. And of course, hey, it's November, so we're heading into that time of year, right? Season of Getting is back. Slice of Samples is back. We've still got our 1.21 gigabit contributor and back to the community going on right now. And guess what? We got some new fun ones coming in. Any Home Alone fans out there? I don't know. How about Elf? Contributing is my favorite. This is my community. I must contribute. So these are going to be some fun badges to earn during that time of year, using some of those fun, iconic movies from this time of year that everybody loves. So be on the lookout. These are going to be launching here soon. They are going to be accessible to everyone, and they are fun, but they do show that you are making a difference in the community, and they show that you are actually contributing. So let's have some fun while also providing a way to get recognized. Super cool stuff. Just need you to opt in, ak.ms/community/recognition. It's absolutely free. We cover the costs, and we will get you taken care of. Okay. All right. Now let's get into some project-specific updates. So we've got our blog. I want to remind everybody that our community blog is not just here for the team and the community team to fill out, but it's absolutely there for everyone to contribute. So if you would like to contribute, don't hesitate. There's some guidance there that you can contribute, even if it's duplicative, which means that you already have it on your own blog, but you'd like to get some extra exposure and share it with the community. That's okay too. So check it out, ak.ms/community/blog. And then one of our newer initiatives that we're going to talk about is the community days. So we have got our community days available here. This is a place to showcase all of the amazing events that are going on in the community. So don't hesitate. We got a lot of folks that are helping out. So Mike Monterani is the latest, and Jamil Abid is also helping out. Tom Daly normally handles this, but he had other engagements today. So just wanted to let everyone know this is an open source opportunity. Not only can you share events, but you can also, by the way, help out with the administration of this site. So just reach out to Tom if you have any questions. He's doing a really great job in handling this. And so don't hesitate if you'd like to get involved. Another new opportunity that we've got is well, I shouldn't say new, it's been around for a while, but we're starting to showcase it here, is the maturity model for Microsoft 365. So this is a wonderful place to get kind of understanding of purpose and artifacts and ways in which you can start adopting the Microsoft model and all of the tools and competencies and scenarios and all the tools that are part of that. Mark Anderson and the team have been doing a great job in handling this, so we're excited to welcome them to this call, and it'll get handled by them going forward. But just want to start reminding everybody it's part of the M365 Community Docs, which also, by the way, has a badge. It is a great way to communicate or contribute. So don't hesitate to get involved. We'll have more updates coming in soon on this. So exciting to learn more about it. We also have our Copilot prompt library. By the way, this is one of those easier ways to get involved with the community if you're looking to contribute. We all have been kind of adjusting and creating that love language, if you will, around Copilot and AI, how we talk to it. And we've all learned things along the way. And I guarantee we've all refined things and found better ways to communicate with it. Well, this is a super easy way. You can submit it through GitHub, especially if you had a sharing is caring session. And if you do, you could become the prompt of the week. So congratulations to Valeris. He is the prompt of the week here on the topic AI Automation Opportunity Finder and ROI Calculator. So I'm not going to read all that. We can read it, but essentially it allows us to kind of identify business processes and workflows to automate opportunities, including process inventory and automation, kind of give a scoring management to it and all that kind of stuff. So absolutely cool. Thank you, Valeris. Great job. And you can check that out at the repo. All right, let's move on to PNP.NET libraries, and we'll hand it over to Bert.
Awesome. Thank you, folks. For PNP.NET, our two libraries, not that much happened, but at least there's progress again, so that's good. I would like to also thank Gautam for helping me here, because Gautam merged the PRs from Patrick. So Patrick brought 4 PRs, bringing reliability updates, several small fixes, which are kind of waiting for a framework, and they got in now. So thanks for that. That's really great. Overall, for core SDK side, I think the PRs are merged, but there is a set of issues and pending work items. So if folks are interested in helping out, please jump in, reach out to one of the PNP core team members. Yeah, it would be cool to have more people in this .NET space helping out with maintaining and further growing these libraries. But with that, I think we can move over to our consuming partner, PowerShell, which uses those libraries. Gautam,
Awesome.
take it away.
Thank you, Bert. Gautam, take it away.
Thanks, Bert. Thanks, David. Yeah, so in PNP PowerShell as well, we are still waiting a bit for the release 3.2.0, which requires some certifications. So we are going to get it. Once we have that, we'll release it as soon as possible. What else? In the nightly builds, we released, we improved the register PNP enter ID command. So what we did, the change here was that whenever you execute this command, you generate a certificate, and now we don't need that particular. I mean, we generate a certificate, but that certificate doesn't need a private key. So we fixed that, and we also improved the error handling in the new and the get PNP Azure certificate. What else? Minor bug fixes and improvements keep on going. And if you run into any issues, just reach out to us. Thanks. Over to you, David.
Awesome. Thank you, Gautam. Great work on both of those projects. Thank you, gents. Okay, Paul is unavailable today, so we're going to cover the script samples for him. We got some new samples. Again, Valeris, an awesome contributor. Andrew Burns, Reshme, and Amory, and Harminder. And again, script samples, by the way, is another great opportunity that spans a lot of lower hanging fruit methods for us to contribute, because we're all working with PowerShell scripts and samples, or whatever kind of script samples you're working with. These are welcome in this repo. We've all got those utility scripts. So this is a great way to kind of contribute something that you likely have already created and is already working. So don't hesitate, reach out to Paul, let him know if you have any questions or if there's any particular need. He's been doing a great job on managing that, very approachable, really great guy. And he says he'll bite your hand off in a British way that sounds absolutely scary, but it actually means he loves you. So don't be afraid if he tells you that, all right? Great job, Paul. Thank you. And then we also have Copilot Pro Dev samples, which Paul is helping manage. So there is some new Copilot extensibility samples. Tech Pulse here, custom engine agent for real-time technology by AJ. So great job there. Again, if you're starting to work with Copilot and specifically in the Pro Dev arena, this is another great way to kind of showcase, get some attention on the work you're doing, get some badges, absolutely contribute. Paul's doing a great job on managing this again, and he would love any contributions you've got. And then Kate can't be here, but again, we wanted to kind of highlight that we've got a ton. In fact, you could say we have a plethora, which means a lot of Power Platform samples available to each and every one of you. And these are absolutely open for those that would like to contribute. So it could be as simple as something as a snippet. It could be a prompt. It could be a sample. All those have different badges, the Prompt Pro, the Snippet Sorcerer, all these cool things that are available to you to be recognized. So don't hesitate. She's doing a wonderful job. Thank you, Kate, and all the hard work you're doing. And thank you, everybody, for contributing. Really cool stuff. So a lot of opportunities in different ways in which we can all contribute. So don't hesitate and let us know if you have any questions. Now, what time is it? That's my homemade sound effects while I'm on vacation. It is picture time. So get those cameras turned on. And I will move this down into view here. And let's see, it's the interwebs seem to be working good. Not too bad, not too bad. It's growing. Let me get Camtasia set up here. Very good. Then we'll do that, move this and move that. And come on, Camtasia. There we go. There we go. Okay. Move that over there, move that up here. Okay. All right. We are doing good on time. So if anybody wants to take another second to get their camera turned on, I see a bunch of familiar faces. Y'all look awesome. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay. I see some more cameras getting turned on down there. Great, great, great. Teams, I know, is sometimes a little slow in getting the camera turned on. So we'll give it a second. Vessa's warming up with the claps. I think that's what it sounds like, right? Dun, 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 dun. All right. Okay, I see a couple more. We're doing good on time. We'll give it just one more second, and we will start the countdown. And let's go 3, 2, and 1. All right, great to see you all. Thank you again. Wave to the community. Let them know how awesome you are. Really appreciate everything you all do. Again, each and every single day, each and every week, we would not have these opportunities to showcase your work without the work actually being put in. So we cannot say thank you, thank you, thank you enough. We really do appreciate all that you're doing. Okay, let's move that off of there and let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. And for that, we are going to kick it off into our demos. Mitanshu is going to start us off, and the topic, unlock the power of your data, custom ML or machine learning with Azure and Power Platform. So Mitanshu, feel free to take on over the screen, my friend. The floor is yours.
Can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yep, I can see it and I can hear you. Take it away.
Awesome. So hello, everyone. It's an honor to be back here to present in the PNP call. So thank you, David, for accommodating the session. I'm Mitanshu, and I've been working in the Power Platform since late 2019. I have been contributing actively in the community, especially in the community forums, and I've got over 120 verified solutions over there. And at my work, I have transformed multiple workflows through digital tools, low-code Power Platform tools. And our new way of working have lasted over 5 years. And even when the original implementation team have moved on to other roles within the org. So these shows the lasting impact of the new way of working. So the way I see it is that in the era of plan designer, app builder, co-pilots, almost anyone can build Power Platform solutions, a Power App or a Power BI dashboards. However, the unique value proposition and the lasting advantage comes when we build better workflows, better processes, which are supported by intelligent applications. So with that context, what I'm thing is why we need AI and ML within the Power Platform domain, as you know, the low-code platforms are evolving over time. So in the starting, we were going through basic automation and digitizing various data entry fields. However, with AI and ML, we could enhance the efficiencies. We can make intelligent decision making and deliver personalized user experiences. Now, out of the box, as we all know, there is an AI hub within Power Apps, which provides a lot of models which are suitable for majority of the situations. And especially the favorite one is the predicting the outcomes based on historical data. One of the important caveat there, though, is that your data must be in Microsoft Dataverse for it to be able to predict the future outcomes. Now, to go around that, we feel that the custom ML models are also still crucial, despite the presence of a huge buffet of solutions within the AI hub. So even in the age of LLMs and generative AI. So in majority or in many cases, actually, your enterprise data could be outside of the Microsoft Dataverse environment. And the Gen AI, as we know that, it does not always gives you a deterministic and repeatable predictions. So in certain cases, you would want to be able to get the same repeatable, reliable, and deterministic predictions, something which is, specifically trained for the domain and that you're able to explain the outcome, such as where, you may have some regulatory or healthcare kind of situations. And the custom models would be able to take advantage of the existing data science expertise in the organization. So despite the presence of LLMs, Gen AIs, we still need the custom ML models. So what we are presenting today, what we are showcasing today is a synergy where we are integrating low code with pro code. So towards the pro code, we are looking at the data science who are able to create custom machine learning models. And then we would be integrating them in the low code where we are able to provide a great user interface automation, and we can democratize AI, making tools available across the org. So those two separately, they're powerful alone, and when there's synergy, they're stronger together. So in that background in place, conscious of time, so we are going through the demo. We would have a data that I've got from Kaggle in Azure Blob Storage. And then what we do, the next part of the process is through Azure Machine Learning Studio, we train and host the machine learning model over there. And once we get the endpoint and our keys, we'll make an HTTP call through Power Automate. And within the Power App, we can use it for various use cases. For this demo, the intent is to focus more on the integration and more on the technology stack instead of focusing on the use case, because this being a public domain, I had to create a generic use case. In terms of the resources, the data set is at Kaggle. That's what I've used. And in terms of the machine learning model, I have published the source code, again, for the purpose of the call on the GitHub library. So let me walk through that. Give me 1 second while I switch the windows. So the data set that I'm using is, as I said, is on Kaggle, predict customer purchase behavior data set. So at the end, what we are trying to get at is that you have an e-commerce app or e-commerce website or a food delivery app where you have some of your users' historical information and you have the data from their current session, and you are going to make a prediction whether this user is going to make a purchase today or not, or can we give them some additional discount based on which they would be more inclined towards making that purchase. So your AI or ML, they sit in the back end, and depending on the session activity, you have a timer, and at a particular point, it triggers, it goes and checks whether the user is making a purchase. If they are, we do nothing, but if they are not, we incentivize them through a discount coupon, for example. So one second. So we have got our data set we get from the Kaggle. Now, in the interest of the time, I have pre-published the ML model in the Jupyter notebook on the GitHub library. So over here, yeah, we load the data set, we go through some of the data cleansing, we go through the data exploration, and ultimately we create, we try the different ML algorithms, and then we create we go through decision tree, we go through random forest, and wherever we are getting a high accuracy, we are going to use that model for our for making our predictions. Now, so we take this ML model and we go into the notebook, into the Azure Studio. So in the Azure Studio, we go ahead and we register the model in Azure ML. We create the endpoint that we are going to reference in our Power Automate. We create the deployment, we set the traffic, and finally we get our URL and the primary key that we are going to use to make the Power Automate calls. Moving on, so once we have that URL and the primary key, we are creating a flow. So over, sorry, within the flow, so we are getting the data about the user's profile and their session activity in the Power Apps. We are getting our primary key in the credentials. We make the HTTP call, and finally we make the prediction and we respond it back to the Power Apps. And on the Power Apps, then we can then finally make that prediction on whether a user is going to make a purchase or not. So if I have a 40-year-old male, let's say their profile is 65,000, they have made 8 purchases in the past, they are part of the loyalty program, they have had 2 discounts, they have spent 30 minutes on the website. The system says this person, based on the data set and the ML model, they are not going to make a purchase. So we should provide them some incentive, some discount coupon to make that purchase. So if I add a discount coupon, make it 3 discounts, and then make the prediction, it says, yes, the customer is going to make a purchase. And that is how you could incentivize the user to make that purchase. So this is where we have used your previous data set, let's say your org data set about how the customers are behaving. We created an ML model using data science techniques. We hosted it on the Azure. We integrated with Power Automate, and we were able to use it within Power App as a front-facing user application. That is all I have for today in terms of showcasing the integration between Azure custom ML models and the Power Platform.
Very, very cool, Mitanshu. Very, very cool. Thank you. I really love to be able to do this. Now, I will say I'm going to have you have a conversation with my wife and explain that why I'm spending all this money. It's all because of things like this. So super, super cool. I love this predictive nature, and I love how, hey, you can kind of influence some of this, right? The power of reasoning and stuff like that. So really great. Thank you for sharing this with the community. Looking forward to some more information on this and data on this, and we got the links for everyone that is curious about that in the chat. We'll have it in the YouTube description as well. So great job, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, let's move on to Sanjiv. Sanjiv, feel free to take on over the screen share as I get you introduced here. Sanjiv is going to be talking about rapid prototyping with Excel data streamer, the Copilot function, and Arduino using Microsoft Excel. So let's see. There we go. It is loading up. Good. Just want to throw that into presentation mode, and you can take it away.
Wonderful, sir. Really, really kind of you to give me this opportunity, to Vaser as well and the community. And fantastic presentation from Mr. Garg. Actually have used it to monitor my health. And, nothing can be more personal than that. Anyway, on this topic here, it's actually anti-scale, if you will. It is down to the personal level. Rapid prototyping is super critical when it comes to design and development, early design and development, and trying to differentiate and so on and so forth, as an example in automotive, and hence, the topic. And, the components in R&D in labs, if you will, that's the second very important component. That's actually a precursor, if you will, to design and development, especially in manufacturing. So, two sort of topics that are really close to my heart. And then I wish I had Excel data streamer back in the 90s when I was actually in automotive. So it kind of comes together. And as you bring in the Copilot with it, takes it to another level, right? And hence I thought, this would be an opportune time to talk about this, and really kind of David and Vaser to give me the opportunity.
Yeah, hey, Sanjiv, real quick, can you just throw that in the presentation before? It looks better in the video. Just
wonderful,
real quick,
sir. Let me do that really quick. Is that good, sir?
Perfect. Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. Yep.
Wonderful, So, like we talked about, enables development of rapid prototypes, ease of experimentation, especially in graduate labs. If you're an ME, EE, in any of the labs, do a lot of experimentation. And, at a bachelor's level, a lot of testing, classrooms, and so on and so forth. So Excel data stream is absolutely perfect for that. Bidirectional communication, you can control devices as well, get feedback from the devices over USB, so through serial ports. And then, you have the full benefit of Excel, live data visualization, integration with Excel functions, and now with, Python and Copilot inside of Excel, a lot of possibilities from a rapid prototyping and a R&D perspective. Now, got to call out the limitations. This is serial comms only, no native support for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth or MQTT. But then those are secondary to experimentation and to rapid prototyping, because those go on later when you're talking about productionizing things and so on and so forth. And then you kind of bring in the right protocols and so on, Azure IoT, and then like Mitanshu talked about, you can combine it with Power Platform, so on and so forth. The other important thing to call out is low data rate. Basically, you're talking about 100 hertz of sampling rate. Very important to keep in mind if you're doing high-speed testing or experimentation. So as an example, if you're doing ballistic armor and things like that, this is not the right tool for it, because the rates are immense. You get into megahertz and so on and so forth. And then no native logs or automation. That's another call out. But those are all secondary. So with this, let us actually get in. I've got, let me just end the show. I've got, I'm going to go to my Teams, turn on my camera, and you should be able to see a Arduino board here. This is a tiny little guy, literally about 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch, lovely little board. And then it's got a built-in RGB LED here, right? I suppose everybody should be able to see it. It's got a built-in RGB LED. And then in Excel here, I've got my data streamer. So it's a add-in, you can download it. It's been there for quite some time, but people don't talk about it too much. And then I've gone in and actually connected through the serial port to my Arduino here, right? And the idea here is, in order to control the colors of, let us say this is a dash panel, and then I've connected the dash panel through Arduino to my Excel, and I'm in front of a customer and I'm actually doing rapid prototypes of the colors here, different colors, right? So I could basically go in and say, hey, look, turn it to, let's say, Prussian blue, or, let us say, pure red, if you will. And then if I were to go to my, it turns red, right? So the idea here is you're combining the chromaticity, if you will, of hue, saturation, and brightness that control. These are technical terms that are actually used in lighting within automotive. and you're basically controlling it using the Copilot function. So when I select pure red here, or when I say, hey, my mood is angry, or whatever it is, you can basically go in and ask the Copilot, hey, what does it mean from a hue standpoint when I say it is, I'm angry, or I'm in a meditative mood, or whatever it is. So you basically change these values and feed it, from your natural language. You get the values and you feed it to the cluster, and then you're sitting in front of the customer, and then you can do all these, sort of mood and different design scenarios, if you will, early in the design phase. And I've actually done it with customers, right? But then it would take weeks, for the simple reason you had to build the full prototype, so on and so forth, go in front of the customers. And now you can literally sit in front of them and, in a matter of days, get everything nailed down. So, a fantastic little tool to actually use, right? Now, this is from a rapid prototyping and automotive perspective. Likewise, you could do, hey, look, you can, from your Arduino here, let me make this a little bigger. Let me go to Teams maybe. So instead of actually an LED, from this very board, you can connect it to a motor. And let us say the motor has a fan and there is vibration in it. You can actually bring the vibration over, do a fast Fourier transform inside of Excel, use the Copilot function, Python to actually do that, and then, do some modifications on getting rid of the vibrations and so on. So you could do it from a rapid prototyping perspective, right? Different industry in industrial applications. Now, this one here is an example of doing something similar in a lab. So as an example, I've got a ultrasonic sensor, and this merely is a metallic ruler. It's held at one end, and I just twang it. So when I twang it, it basically goes in and it actually vibrates, right? So this essentially is the solution to actually a second order differential equation that we guys in mechanical engineering have been beaten over the head, and that's where we get our scars, right? So essentially, without actually doing something and literally listening to it or seeing it in a mathematics textbook is very, very hard to visualize and to understand. And now you can cobble this so easily right on your desktop. I mean, this is literally at my place. And then you can get to see how the vibrations actually die down over a period of time. This is called as like damping and so on and so forth. And from here, you can actually get to see, if I move this along further, you can get to see what the frequency of vibration is. You can get the solution to your second order differential equation, so on and so forth, right? So the point here is, even from a experimentation, from a lab perspective, this is, probably in your bachelor's, maybe getting into graduate study. But then if you take it one step further, and let's say you're actually doing your PhDs and so on and so forth, you want to control equipment, instead of using some ugly code, you can actually use this and with Excel and do many, many things, right? And it's absolutely marvelous. And then that gives you, if you will, such an easy tool right in front of you, instead of having to struggle with, the many things that people actually struggle with, right? Especially for mechanical engineers and electrical engineers who don't have, if you will, the wherewithal that maybe the CS guys have, right? So that's kind of the whole story, if you will, is combining, good old Excel with the data streamer, with your Copilot, to be able to do the many, many things that us mechanical engineers and electrical engineers actually do, right? So that, if you will, is the story. Quick little demo and a quick little video, and back to you, David. I trust this was useful. Thank you very much.
Very cool, Sanjiv. I love being able to tie in real world applications to the digital ecosystem that we live in each and every single day. I kind of chuckle and laugh that you're using RGB lights, because now you're going to have a conversation with my wife and explain why there's going to be even more RGB lights in our house. Because she's already sick of them. But I love them, right? So now we're going to get Copilot involved. But great job. Thank you for sharing. Great alternative perspectives. Yeah, great job. Thank you. All right, Gautam, my friend, you are up. Feel free to take on over the screen share while we get you introduced. Gautam is going to talk about your AI-powered People Finder in Microsoft 365. So Gautam, if you are ready.
Sure. Thanks, David. Really cool presentation, Sanjiv and Mitanshu as well. About my demo. Hey everyone, what's up? This is a small little demo that I created. It came out of a conversation I had with a friend, a colleague, a former colleague, and he was struggling with Copilot, So like it's the age of AI. So we decided to find out some interesting way to get around some issue here. So a bit about myself. I'm Gautam. I work as a developer at Solutions to Share. It's a company based in Germany. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm also MVP, and I also help maintain PNP PowerShell. So yeah. So the topic around this is People Finder, AI powered People Finder. So how usually we used to do in SharePoint Online is we have created a page in SharePoint. We usually use a modern PNP modern search web part or our own developer, our own custom web part. We do upload that to the app catalog. We add the web parts onto the page. For example, this is a screenshot from PNP modern search web part that I took. So we add the web parts into the page. We add a search box. We add a refiner. We connect all three of them. Then we start searching for them, and then we get a results something like this. So sometimes we get some results, and sometimes we don't get super results. So we click on the the refiners in the left hand side of the section. So the refiners usually could be the case of how do you put it this way? An employee in a particular department, or an employee working at a particular location, or certain other parameters that you have defined in your own tenants and all of that. So the solution, the AI way to go around doing that was, why not ask Copilot? Like this is the age of Copilot. We have Copilot license. Let's just ask Copilot. So this is kind of the result we got from Copilot. So one of the questions was, hey, I want to find a colleague who was doing some things in mobile app development. So Copilot gave me this kind of result. So it found 206 relevant files, quite a few emails, quite a few chats, 2 meetings, and all of those people who might be necessarily or not necessarily involved in mobile app development, and the people who have been working involved in that. So the issue here is that Copilot can be sometimes way too eager, searches for too many things, and gives us way too many results, which may or may not be super relevant. Sometimes it doesn't do that as well, and it doesn't sometimes give great results. So that's why we came up with this kind of a Copilot agent. So this agent would be some sort of a way to guide Copilot to only look for certain things. For example, I want to look for a colleague who is skilled in mobile app development. We should not look into the email. We should not look into my Teams chat or any other thing. We should look into how do we call it, the people source. It could be like SharePoint, or it could be OneDrive, or it could be Graph or some third party. For example, you have your own custom third party applications, for example, Workday or Monday.com or something else that you have. So you can build your own Copilot agent and guide that agent to only query that particular data source and fetch the results for us, instead of going everywhere and not doing the work that it needs to do. So in this particular case, Copilot went around and started guessing like what could be the things, what could be relevant for this particular prompt. It could be the title of a document based on some template somebody created some couple of years ago, because that's how Copilot works sometimes. So this was the result here. So key contributors in mobile app development, blah blah blah. It gave me 3 interesting results. This is the case where you ask for a skilled developer or mobile app developer, and the result contains, the first result would be the document template and the person who took the note around that particular template. The CTO of the company, you can say CTO is skilled developer, of course, but you don't usually ask the CTO for certain skills like that, so CTO. And this was someone who was invited to some demo related to mobile app development. So not super relevant to my particular query, but hey, that's how Copilot is sometimes. So what we did was we built our own agent. In this case, we are using SharePoint. Let me show you how that works. Okay, so the agent is Teams message extension, because I was quite familiar with Teams message extension. In hindsight view, I could have started working with a type spec agent or type spec based agent or an AI plugin or something. But at that time, it was quite interesting. The message extension seemed quite fast and easier way to get around that. So yeah, we decided to go ahead and build that agent. So the question, so this is Copilot Chat, M365 Copilot Chat. Let's try GPT-5 on. Let's go to this custom agent that we built here. And one of this, yeah, this is a history. I think nowadays it shows that. So one of the questions that we can ask is, find me the people who are skilled with this kind of thing, software assurance, process management. So this will, nowadays, I think what I read somewhere is that we also have a out-of-the-box agent that might be coming soon, which is called as a skills agent. So maybe this agent is not super relevant for this particular demo, but you can adapt it for certain other use cases as well. So yeah, this seems like an interesting thing. So if I look at the results here, it gives me this particular user. Yeah, seems relevant. He's skilled in quality assurance. It shows the skills that he has, and he's based in Strom. So yeah, sounds interesting. And this is also another user. So it gives a very specific result to a very particular prompt. And yeah, if you click on sources, it nowadays opens this view, click on the citations, and yeah, you can do that. And when you click on it, it opens an email and all of that, and it works. So another case would be like you are at a company mixer and you forgot, and you met someone, and then you go back and you want to reach out to that person, and then you realize that, hey, I don't know the name, but I think he was based in somewhere, for example, Sweden. So hey, let me find out people who are working in Sweden for my company. And yeah, it found out a bunch of people. Maybe it might narrow it down my use case. So if you click on it, again, it gives a citation, bunch of things. Yeah, the skills, not so much, this is SharePoint, but yeah, this is how it works sometimes. So Copilot. And yeah, so how does this work? We are using SharePoint as a data source here. So let me start with sharing the screen here. This is a Teams message extension. And yeah, so the message extension gets invoked whenever there is some particular query here, So clear the terminal. It didn't clear. Okay. Yeah. So let me ask something else now. I wanted to show you guys. Yeah, I'm asking for someone who is working from Kuopio. Kuopio is a small town located up north in Finland. So yeah, so what happens here? Okay, give me a proper result here. Yeah, so what happens here is Copilot gives us it gives its own understanding of the prompt, So when I asked Copilot, like, do we know anyone working from Kuopio? It gave me this particular query, people working from Kuopio. Now that query itself, it's not super useful. So what I do here in this particular scenario is I ask OpenAI to, understand this particular prompt. So if I go into this, OpenAI. Yeah, so in OpenAI, I asked OpenAI to, understand this particular prompt, like people working from Kuopio. So what I gave the prompt was I created this particular Azure OpenAI client. I gave the prompt. The prompt is a system prompt. It needs to be a strict extractor. We only want certain things from our agent because we want only specific data or specific things from the user prompt. So for example, we need only office location, or we only need skills, or we only need the department text, So this is what we are telling that the agent's job is. And then we also give the second role, which is like extract all of that information and only return a JSON object described above. And this is the prompt. The prompt would be people working from Kuopio. So OpenAI does its thing. It gives us the result, which is this one, the JSON object here. And then we do some permutation and combination, like office number is Kuopio, and that's what we do. And then we make a request to the SharePoint endpoint. For example, this particular search endpoint, search query. So for those of you who are old timers, they might know this particular search result data source ID. So this always prompts the SharePoint people data source. And yeah, that's how we query here. So with the people's data source, and then we pass on office number copio, and then we get this kind of a result here. And yeah, of course, we do bunch of adaptive cards and all of those things. So yeah, in the adaptive ones, we get the results, we iterate over the results, and then we generate an adaptive card. And this is an adaptive card that gets displayed that we see here. And of course, yeah, this works on the custom user permissions. So if you look at the authentication section, we make a request to the Entra ID. We pass on the scope, which is this one, the SharePoint scope. We pass on app ID, the app secret, and the authority here, and then we log in here. So I didn't show you the login prompt, but yeah, this usually asks the login prompt the first time, and then it makes on doing the request here. So that's how it kind of works from the code point of view. And yeah, let me go back to the slide here. So the team, the things that we used here was the Teams toolkit. It is a Teams message extension that I used, and this can also be a AI plugin or a type spec. And we use Entra ID as well. We use the completions endpoint from OpenAI. So we can also use responses, but I couldn't find a way to get it working. This was a slightly older code, so we use that to extract the content from the Copilot provided prompt, and then we use SharePoint people source search endpoint, and then we show the results. Yep, I think that's pretty much from my end. What do you, David? Thanks.
Awesome, Gautam. Very, very cool. I love again how all this stuff overlaps, right? So what we've seen today is a lot of information in and around things that we've already seen, but new ways to interject with it, to extend it, to communicate and collaborate with it. So great job. Great job. Okay. All right, well, let's wrap up the show here today, everybody. Thank you to all three of our presenters, Mitanshu, Sanjiv, and Gautam. Great job today, everybody. Thank you. Whoa, rah, the crowd goes wild. I'm traveling, so I don't have my stream deck, but we got the sound effects in there. So thank you all for your dedication to the community. Great job. If you would like to collaborate with more members of the community, we've got our Discord server available to everyone. This is open to the entire public. And so if you want to impress your kids that you are in Discord, feel free. But if you'd like to collaborate with the community, also feel free to join it. There is no cost. It is absolutely available to each and everyone in the community. It's kind of a one-stop shop to talk about and collaborate on multiple topics. So it's kind of a great place to be and communicate with other members. We'd also love to get some feedback from you on the calls. So if there's something you're looking for us to do, or if you just simply like what you're seeing, that helps reinforce to us what we're doing is working. So please don't hesitate to provide positive feedback for us as well. And the recording will be available in 24 hours on the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. We will, of course, share it out on all of the socials, such as Twitter, X, Blue Sky, LinkedIn. But your best way to get the latest updates is to go to aka.ms/community/YouTube and smash that subscribe button. That way you will be alerted as soon as we publish all the videos that are available. The next Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community call will be a week from today, November 13th, and the next Microsoft Speakers Power Platform, Microsoft 365 Power Platform call will be coming up on Tuesday, November 11th. So just a few days away. Thank you, everybody, for attending today and collaborating and showing support for our amazing presenters. All the work that you're doing in the community. Have a great rest of your week, a great weekend, and we will see you on the next call. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.